Going off the rails in a crazy train. Hey there, everyone. Welcome to our 10th episode of Off the Rails. I'm the guy in the chair pushing all the buttons. My name is Tony, and off to my right is...
Ian, the guy pushing everyone else's buttons. And off to my right is...
Taylor, and I'm just here to bug everybody.
I asked you for one simple thing last time. What did I ask, Taylor?
I don't remember, honestly.
I asked for Phil from Nebraska.
Oh.
But I did not get Phil from Nebraska. I got the Mexican.
Hola!
I got DJ Perico over here.
Okay, so
Orale!
I did not prepare a topic for this week.
There we go.
Hey.
What about you guys? You guys prepare a topic?
I did. First, I'm going to put a nice wall between us here so I can do this conversation right. Oh, yeah.
Well, Tony, because there's a wall between me and Ian, and apparently he can't hear me, nor does he care, and my phone is currently ringing. I will answer in a second. Hold on. I do not have a topic because I have been gone, and I literally rushed back just to do this, and I have no topic. And apparently your phone is ringing as well!
Everything holy.
Oh, hey, it's the beef stew, actually. Hold on one second. What up, beef stew? I got you on speakerphone, and we are broadcasting.
Wow. Hey, how's it going, bud?
It goes. Hey, you sound like you're in a car. What's up?
I am in a car. I'm talking to you over Bluetooth.
Oh. Wait, are you done?
I thought you guys were going to be filming tonight.
We are.
We are live right now, and I have you on speakerphone.
I don't see you on YouTube. It's not showing up on the channel.
Yes, it is.
I'm looking. I'm not seeing you guys.
Oh. Well, hey, someone want to pull up their phone and double check? Because it shows that it's live on my end. Also, everyone on our channel is totally, this is a conversation that's being broadcasted if we are, in fact, live. And they can hear you, because I have the mic next to the mic.
Yes, it is on.
Say hi to everyone.
It is on
The
there.
people are wondering where the personality was.
It's on there.
Okay, no one heard anything you just said.
Nor do they care.
Hello, Beef Stew? Did we lose you?
God willing.
I think we lost you. Beef Stew, when you get pulled over in a safe place because you're driving, jump into the comment section.
You hung up on him. I love it.
I couldn't hear him.
Yes, that's totally what happened.
I couldn't hear him.
Right.
Oh, I have some exciting news.
Okay. You want to finish that first? you
I'm getting a new vacuum tomorrow. I'm getting a brand new Shark Navigator. Not an ad, by the way.
Tony?
But one of the fancy setup vacuum cleaners. I am so excited because I have had a broken vacuum cleaner for 2 years that doesn't
Tony.
work right.
Tony, pick up your drink real quick. Trust me, pick up your drink. Look at me. Women.
Could you be any more of a stereotype?
I'm joking. I'll get the lettuce.
So, you have a topic. after La Gabellina back there stops.
Yeah, for everyone in the audience wondering why I'm randomly just shouting at me and a child are having a sound off because I too am a child.
The sound in the background is my daughter currently stuffing her face with pizza, making noises at everybody.
Yes, quite well. Okay, so I beat a video game today. I beat the remake of Resident Evil 4. Holy crap, was that a good game. Like, if I had to give it a rating out of 10, I'd probably give it a 9.5.
Really?
It was fantastic. Story, amazing. Characters? I mean...
Wait, did you say Resident Evil 5?
No, 4.
Okay.
I said 9.5 out of 10, but... No, story, phenomenal. Characters, pretty much phenomenal. There's one character that they really want you to like, who I never really liked, but also it's because I'm me and I don't like people. Guns, great arsenal. I liked them. The gameplay, really good gameplay. Not just the usual, tank controls Resident Evil, but instead, shooting, moving, thinking, planning.
Kenny's in the chat. He calls us nerds.
Hold on a second. Apparently, I'm very popular.
First time for everything.
He dead.
So that was fun. I really enjoyed that. I recommend it wholeheartedly. The next game I'm going to be getting is the new Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's coming out soon. Looks really good.
I heard that one was actually pretty good.
Well, Fallen Order was the one that came out already. The one that came out a few years ago before it. The first one, and I played that and I loved it. And this is a direct sequel. I'm very excited.
Oh, okay.
Also, Star Wars recently, really good media. The Bad Batch, good show. The Mandalorian, some good episodes. I've been enjoying Star Wars more than I've been enjoying Marvel for a fat minute.
So, Bad Batch Season 2, I haven't gone through the entirety of that yet.
It's a good season.
And Mandalorian Season 3, I haven't even touched one episode.
You should.
But you know what I have watched? John Wick 4.
Yes. The movie that I think revealed to a couple people that knew me that didn't know me that well that I might be mentally unstable with how loud I was laughing.
That movie, John Wick 4, was absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I loved
I brought something cool back from Brady.
almost every minute of it.
A quilt?
My aunt still made it for my grandpa.
Taylor is showcasing a quilt at the moment.
Because woman.
No one can hear her.
Hey, Tony. What are Mario's pants made out of? Denim. 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 Denim.
Oh, I'm so using that one.
You're welcome.
John Wick 4, your thoughts first. Go.
Are we doing spoilers or not?
I care not.
Okay. I really liked it. I'm kind of sad about the ending, but I feel like it was a good ending. Keanu Reeves was on record saying he would do as many John Wicks as people wanted. I want more, but I won't get more. And this makes me sad. John Wick is like comfort food, but in a movie. Especially like 2 and 3. Those are just like movies I watch when I'm depressed. Because watching him just slot people for like 2 hours just makes me happy. And the fact that I can't get any more new of that makes me very sad.
His bike got hit not that long ago.
Hmm?
His bike got rammed into.
Actually, Julia, a dog did not die.
Backed into.
A dog got kicked
And thrown into a car.
and thrown into a car, but it didn't die.
No, but the dog got revenge.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I would say so. The dog went John Wick, is what happened.
I mean, even the bad guys in the movie were really good.
Batman.
I forgot which where the mic is. There it is.
Like even the Marquis de Ferron, I believe.
Yes.
Are you done? Are you ready for bed now? Are you ready to go night?
Should we go night? Sorry. Yeah, Bill Skarsgård character. Absolutely fantastic bad guy. I love what the Harbinger said to him. Make sure your ambition doesn't overkill. Like, what was it? Make sure your ambition doesn't
One's ambition should never outweigh the man.
outweigh their worth.
Outweigh their worth. Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic line. Super good. I also loved the unnamed henchman who was just a monolith monster. I personally think besides Donnie Yen, I believe was the actor who played Kane. Besides Donnie Yen, that guy was the toughest henchman we've ever seen in a John Wick film. Like, he was almost a Terminator at points with how just
He was an absolute monster.
like the very moment I saw him, I was like, wow, that's a pretty beefy, clean cut dude in a suit. I like his suit. And then he catches the arrow in his arm without flinching and pulls it out. I'm like, oh, homie don't care.
I want to know what those suits were made out of because, like, I take it back. I want to know what those arrows were made out of.
That punctured the John Wick suit.
They
Yeah.
punctured. I mean, they taken rounds like no. Oh, she's escaped. They taken rounds like nobody's business, but they couldn't handle an arrow. Are you kidding me?
Maybe the arms aren't as armored because you always see John Wick. He doesn't put his arm in front of his face. He grabs the jacket and pulls the jacket up. So maybe it's the torso that's armored, but not the arms.
But I mean, he's taking rounds in his arms.
Not as many as you think. You look at it a lot, and he's really getting them lower chest, upper chest, and then
I guess you're right on that one.
So I mean, maybe like the shoulders and upper arm are armored,
Yeah.
but like he took it in like the collar wrist area. So maybe that's because it's like
I really liked it, the whole movie in general. I like the fact that they ended it. I do, and the reason why, this is why, okay? Because we all know, I've said it before on several podcasts, we all know that I like a good story, right? The best part of a good story is the ending. I am
It should
getting
be.
so tired of all of these really good stories being ruined because they just want to bleed them dry for money's sake. And John Wick would be an easy cash cow, but I don't know where else that they would take John Wick's story from here.
I actually thought they were going to do something different. I actually foresaw them doing a completely different thing, and I thought they could actually milk a movie or maybe even two out of this. Was at the end of John Wick 3, the Beggar King show was like, "Are you mad?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm mad." And I thought they were going to do a whole movie about John and the Lawrence Fishburne's character going to war against the table. That's what I thought they were going to do. Was like have a whole scale like John versus the table war instead of John just finally going, "Okay, I'm done. I quit. I'm ready to die now." I was expecting them to be like, "All right, John, you're now doing an underground war against the table," and that's
Well,
what I wanted to see.
And that's where the movie started out as. It was I'm going to single-handedly go to war with the organization.
I feel like they could have devoted an entire movie to that, of just, and not even have John like, "Oh, I want to kill this specific." No, just have John literally just inflicting as much wanton damage as the table as possible, just to like war of attrition their ranks, and then have like
Right, but they... Oh, go ahead.
like they could do John Wick 4, but maybe do it like John Wick 5, John Wick 6. Give me some movies of John Wick. Just he's not on the run because he refused a contract. He's not on the run because he killed someone on continental grounds. No, at this point he is going on the attack. He is wantonly, because all the other movies he's been on the defensive. He's very rarely actually gone on the attack. I want to see a movie. I would like to see a movie of John Wick on the offense, purposely launching ambushes and going in attacks, and like we always see John reacting to people coming around the corner pulling guns on him. I want to see John be the guy to pull the gun first. I want a movie dedicated to John Wick actively going to war.
Yeah, and like I said, it felt like that's what they were going to go with. I'll agree with you. Both in the trailer as well as in the beginning part of the movie, even. But I like the fact that they grounded it and they made it real. What are you, the one man, going to do? Because all they're going to do is just put another one in their place and put another one in their place, and they're just going to send wave after wave after wave.
Well,
And it wasn't for him. That wasn't him himself the reason why he went the way that he did. And this is the reason why oh my god, I can't remember what his name is. The Charon.
Sharon.
Yeah, Sharon. His character died. This is the reason why his character had to die and show Winston the consequences of the actions, because the Montague, basically he was saying, why am I leaving you alive? To show you the consequences of your actions, to show you what I can take away. Because Winston didn't care about his own life.
Mm-hmm.
John Wick doesn't care about his own life. But then they started knocking off their friends. And he's like, wait, my actions are going to affect everyone else around me. Everyone that I've ever cared about, they're going to take that away. So they had to come up with a more permanent out. And it wasn't a let's go to war. While I don't disagree that wouldn't make a good movie, it would. I like the way that they did it this way a whole lot better. Because instead of constantly violating the rules and, screw the consequences of your actions, other than that, it was let's use the rules against them. And it made it so permanent to where it only came down to the only one that's at risk is John Wick, and everyone else gets to go free. He single-handedly, quite literally single-handedly, ended it all in the greatest move ever.
Agreed. But me and you are looking for two different things in John Wick. You want to see the John Wick story. I want to see the John Wick body count rise.
Yes, you and I are always going to look. I've come to this conclusion. It doesn't matter what it is. You and I are always going to look for something different in everything. We're never going to fully agree on what it is that we desire in anything ever.
Fair.
That being said, I think we can both agree that this movie has hit our #1 slot for movies of this year.
It has. It has. If I had three movies, the three movies I can think of we've seen this year, I think I would put John Wick, Plane, 65.
4. Quantumania.
That doesn't count.
That counts. It's a movie we watched. It's at the bottom of the list, but it's still there.
It's not on the list, bro. It's not even on dishonorable mentions, bro. It
was there. You sat next to me.
I wish I hadn't.
We also have it on the podcast. You talked about it. You watched this. There's evidence, bro.
I'm trying to repress it, bro. Let me repress it like my childhood.
I realized that I wasn't playing the video for half of that.
Gosh dang it, Tony.
Well, it was streaming. We're live.
I am back.
But the background video that I have,
Not that anybody
that
can.
wasn't. So everyone was just sitting there staring at a
For half
picture
a
of a
second, I
shotgun.
thought you found pineapple somewhere because it looked like you put pineapple on the pizza, and I was going to be really, really upset.
Why?
Because pineapple does not belong on pizza.
Get out
Hush
of
up,
this house.
child. Yes, it
It's
does.
my house,
And?
so I don't have to go anywhere.
You don't deserve it.
2v1 overruled. There's the door. Wyman. Meows.
I don't mind the pineapple on pizza. I don't personally like it. I don't like warm pineapple. Warm pineapple it doesn't taste right. That's the whole reason I don't like it. It doesn't taste right.
Oh.
What?
It's like most people that eat pizza with ranch.
That's wrong.
Gavin does it.
Well, Gavin will eat just like bread with ranch.
I mean,
I once saw this kid take a cheese stick, just a regular old mozzarella string cheese stick, dip it in ranch.
I mean, I think it's obvious to say something ain't right with that boy.
You know, one of the popular pregnant cravings is pickles and ranch.
What?
Pickles and ranch apparently was a really big pregnancy craving for a lot of people.
Yep.
What was your pregnancy craving?
I couldn't eat! Do you know what I could eat and keep down for at least an hour? Freaking Starbucks!
Food was her pregnancy craving.
What was your pregnancy craving, Taylor?
Seriously, the only thing that I could stomach longer than half an hour was the bacon and Gouda sandwich from Starbucks, and it was one of the easier things to come up as well. There's a whole reason I ate them my entire pregnancy. I could not stomach anything else. Anything else would have been so harsh, it would burn my throat.
Mid. It's pretty basic. Mid.
You know what my grandmother's was? Grilled cheese and jam.
Interesting. my mother's was, and this actually I think has contributed to why I love these two things so much. Bricks of medium cheddar cheese and peanut butter.
There's a gal on TikTok, not an ad, but she tries a bunch of pregnancy cravings. There's apparently a couple of them that are just butter and something.
I would be a liar if I said I haven't taken a bite of a full stick of butter before.
That's what she's doing. When they do the pregnancy craving with the butter, it's like this huge block of butter. Like seriously, it's bigger than my wallet, and I don't have a very big wallet.
That's actually hilarious. No, I tell you what weird craving I've been having lately that I've had to thankfully fulfilled. I've been eating cereal, I have decimated this box of Fruit Loops I got 3 days ago. I've been going after this thing with a vengeance.
Are you eating it with or without milk?
Milk, always with milk.
See,
I will get up at the most.
I was one of those kids that didn't like milk in my cereal because it always got too soggy too fast. I don't like soggy cereal.
That's why you eat it fast. I mean, within 5 minutes of water making contact with the cereal, the cereal's gone.
Water? You put water in your cereal, Ian?
Milk with.
Did you know he puts water in
I
his cereal?
do not put water in my cereal. It was a slip of the tongue.
What is wrong with you?
You know this as my best friend quite a lot, but not that. That was a slip of the tongue. Milk.
No.
From with 5 minutes of the milk touching the cereal and milk are
My parents
gone.
give me such crap about that. I would have milk. I just wouldn't put it in the cereal. I would have it in a cup and just drink it.
You know what's come back that I haven't gotten yet, but I'm planning on getting soon?
Those Fruit Loop straws.
Yes!
I love.
You sent me
things.
a picture and asked me if I can pick those up for you.
I actually called you at 8 in the morning asking if you could, but you were I woke you up and I felt bad, so I chickened out of asking. But
was that the day that you called?
Yes.
They text me.
That was the day I was going to offer to pay you $20 to go to the store and buy me 3 boxes of them. I was jonesing for it so badly, but I didn't want to get up and go because I had gotten off of work and I was just I'm tired. I just want to sit on my couch.
All right, your move, audience. You heard it here. Ian enjoys Fruit Loops
With water.
and straws.
Those things weren't around very long. Those went out really fast.
I know. They were really good when they were there, though.
Yeah. Do you remember those straws that were plastic that had the beads in them that flavored your milk?
No. I don't think I ever had
do
that.
remember that.
I don't think I ever
There
had
used to
that.
be these
What?
straws.
How did you not have that?
And they would have
I was poor.
They would have flavored beads in them.
I had that.
I
dude.
was poor.
Your parents didn't make good financial decisions. Of course they bought that.
But
They didn't buy it.
Of course they stole it.
I think
Yeah, we'll go with that.
apparently we have a thief among us. But so
Cue
no,
Among Us
it would
music.
be it'd be a a fairly thicker straw,
Mhm.
but it would have flavored beads in it. There was I think of one of the bigger ones was strawberry. I think was the one they made the most. It had white and pink beads in it, and it flavored your milk.
Yeah.
And you stuck it in there, and you got the flavor.
I believe you would exist. I just never saw or heard of it or tried it.
They were okay. They were good. They were good.
They were-
but they
they
weren't
were really good.
amazing for what they were advertised as.
Okay, so here's one for you guys. Milk standard is amazing. Just regular, plain old white milk. What is your favorite milk adjacent?
Banana.
Banana milk. Taylor?
Or if they have a French vanilla.
Vanilla milk is my favorite. Dairy Gold specifically makes the best vanilla milk ever.
Vanilla milk.
It's just, it's a happiness in a bottle. I'll say this. I like it better than chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk is overrated.
Chocolate
The
milk is really heavy.
Chocolate milk is one of those milks out there that you like it just because they say it's the best.
It's good.
Okay, I'll admit the only reason I buy chocolate milk is because I have that coffee flavoring, and when I get coffee in the morning, Paisley tries to drink all my coffee, so I put that chocolate milk, and just put a shot of that coffee flavored in it. She's got her own coffee, and she leaves mine alone.
yeah.
I mean,
But yeah, I think
good way to maintain
chocolate
the
milk is
superiority is
overrated.
giving your child coffee so she doesn't grow so you can stay taller than her. Gotta really help
I
that
made that mistake
inferiority
because
complex.
we as kids, me and my brothers, had our own percolator. The three of us had one percolator, and our parents had another one.
Makes a lot of sense
And
why
of
you're
course,
so
I was
small.
always in charge of doing it because I made
Is
really
this
strong
why you
coffee.
have trouble reaching the freezer?
Or the bottom shelf. Because you're that small, you can't even reach the bottom shelf.
You know, jokes don't work if you have to explain them.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure it's down at her level.
Well done on that one. Good rebound.
Had it in the first half, not gonna lie.
I hate you all.
And yet you choose this.
So Kenny says Scott Adkins is amazing. It's hilarious that they put him in a fat suit.
Dude,
When I saw that, I was like, really? They got a guy in a fat suit? Is this a Chris Farrell
big man
with
can
the Batman?
dance.
And then I saw him throw down, and I was like, oh, no, that's why he's in a fat suit. Oh, look at him. I don't care if he's an imposter. He's an inspiration to fat people around the world.
Big
We
boy
too
throw
can do a
hands.
Tekken 7.
I wish you weren't looking at your phone when he died, so you could have seen how he died.
I know. One of my daughters was freaking out.
That's why you tell her grow up and don't look at your phone for those 30 seconds.
I'm pretty sure it was one of the younger two.
It was Becca actually. So what happened was
Grow up.
what happened was I guess one of the other kids knocked on a door, right? And then one of the older kids said, "Somebody's here. Don't answer the door. They could be breaking in." Which immediately spiked my
your
little
kids
anxiety
really
child.
need to work on that because that's not the first time that's happened.
It happens every time. Every time we leave, it happens.
I knock on the door. I hear somebody's at the door. Nobody comes to the door.
Well,
30 minutes later,
that's
I
'cause-
knock on the door. Somebody's at the door.
That's because they're telling one of us because they're not allowed to answer the door. They're
Good.
telling one of us to so that way we can go and do it.
You by the way, you might want to get a new door peep because if I stand back far enough, I can see into your peep safe.
I don't care. You can see that?
I can.
Like you got to be on your tiptoes?
No.
Step ladder.
There you go.
The snuff ladder there.
Periscope.
Yeah, if
There's Taylor with the periscope
if-
again.
because
Using a periscope
you can't
to see into his house.
I mean, because you can't see if you look right into it if you're really close to it. So if you stand back a little bit and turn your head up, you can see.
Taylor standing off your balcony. Periscope. I see everything.
You really are the studio creeper, aren't you?
Creeper.
Yeah, that fat suit guy. That's amazing. I wish I would have saw it, but
You wouldn't
I
even
mean-
need a fat suit.
Hey, if I could throw down like that guy and still be as big as I am now, yes.
Also, can we talk about his piece? The most overcompensating thing ever. The man pulls out what I'm pretty sure was a 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum.
Yeah.
The man just pulls out this absolute retarded hog leg revolver, and it was like, really? Tell me you're overcompensating without telling me you're overcompensating.
Everything about that character was so over the top and amazing.
Mm-hmm.
His accent, his shtick, the theme, his fighting style, the gun, everything. His suit, not the fat suit. I'm talking
purple
about
suit.
Yes, everything about that character was so way over the top. And at first, I was like, but then I was like, you know what? This is all right.
I thought the idea of how every single person met up and sat down for a game of cards was kind of hilarious. Especially, I love how the blind guy calls him out for cheating.
Yeah, I knew you were a cheater.
Also, one of my cards, because, I'm blind.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious.
I like when he threw in the middle of all that, when he threw the flashbang. Lights out. I can't say it because we're on our studio, but
That reminds me of a comic panel I read of a Daredevil comic one time. Daredevil is Matt Murdock. He's blind. Matt Murdock comes home from a long day at work, and he, hears all these people. He's like, oh, 6 guys creeping downstairs into the kitchen. They have night vision goggles. Whatever will I do? Flicks on the light switch. It's just like
that reminds me.
Oh.
We talked about this before on an earlier podcast. It's when she thought that the Daredevil would be immune to the Ghost Rider's penance stare? Because he's blind.
I did make
I
that
have
stupid
never,
mistake.
I have never wanted to see a comic book panel come to life any more than that. If Marvel, if you're listening, you have to make this happen. You got the Daredevil, or you got Daredevil doing his thing. You got the Ghost Rider hunting him down. Got him pinned up against the wall. He's staring him down, and then Matt Murdock just looks at him and goes,
What am I? Am I
okay,
supposed to see something?
all right, what's going on? What's happening?
Matthew Murdock, it is time to atone for
Just imagine
the
it would
pain
start
you
to
have
rain
caused.
because like in the movie with Ben Affleck, you know, they show this scene where he can somewhat see with the rain. Imagine it start raining and all he sees is the skull. He's like, what are you? What are you?
No, he wouldn't see the skull because it actually wouldn't hit his head because the water would evaporate. So all he would see
The body
is
without
this
a head.
headless thing.
You see shoulders.
What are you?
I would just wait. Time to atone for your sin, and you get in the penance there, and he's like, "Is something supposed to be happening right now?
He's
Because
like,
I'm not.
are you doing
It ain't
something?
happening, bro."
Am I supposed to feel anything?
Oh, I feel
Wait,
so.
Wait, are you just sitting there staring at me?
I feel guilt. I feel
This is
guilty.
so
I
awkward.
feel like Ghost Rider would be like, what am I supposed to do now?
Matthew would hit him with.
Matt-
I'll throw a couple of Hail Marys on church on Sunday.
Matt Murdock comes out with the Tony Stark. You know, performance issues isn't uncommon.
God, Matt ain't that cocky.
They say 1 in 5 men.
Or I guess angelic deities. So
I heard
I still think it's funny that the Punisher has tried
Are
to penance.
you okay?
That the Ghost Rider tried to penance there the Punisher, and the Punisher hasn't worked because the Punisher doesn't regret it. There's no regret. Punisher's like, yeah, I did it, and Ghost Rider's like, I can't even penance there him. It doesn't work. Punisher really just doesn't care. Love the Punisher so much. Speaking of Tony, did you hear? They have confirmed Bernthal's coming back.
That's good. I hope they don't do to him what they did to Daredevil and to the Kingpin, like I called it.
I mean, what happened to Kingpin was comic book accurate. Echo did shoot him in the face in the comics, and
They're not in the dumbest way.
Wow.
it kind of did though.
I feel so left out because, like I said, I haven't watched the new Daredevil
If you
series.
watch the Hawkeye series,
I haven't.
the Kingpin dies in the Hawkeye
He doesn't
series.
die, Tony. He does not die.
Okay.
He is not dead.
Is it proven?
Yes,
Where?
D'Onofrio is cast in the new Daredevil show that takes place after Hawkeye and after the Echo show that's coming out. He is also cast in the Echo show that takes place after Hawkeye. We have been through this 1,000 times. I'm going to throw you through the wall. You keep that up again.
Okay, my child is trying to
Yeah, I'll
sleep,
bel-
so let's not break my table, please.
I'll believe it when I see it.
He's literally been confirmed to be cast in the shows that take place later in the timeline.
Look, all
He is
I'm
not
saying-
dead.
All I'm saying is this. I told you that Disney would neuter both of those characters, and you disagreed, and who was right?
I mean, Daredevil was the only part of She-Hulk that was any good, and he spent the entire episode making her look like an idiot and styling on
That's
her.
just because their writing on the writing that they did for She-Hulk was worse and irredeemable. But they did what they could to make Matt Murdock and the Daredevil as useless as possible. They just weren't able to.
Showed up, made her look like an idiot, tapped it, bailed.
Did the walk of shame home, carrying his boots.
I doubt those boots are very comfortable. He probably was just doing that because
Are
he
you?
didn't feel like putting it back on.
Don't try to sit there and make excuses for this.
I mean, have you looked at the boots he wears, though?
Doesn't matter. Oh well, yeah, and the fact that they changed up his suit.
I mean, homage to the classic gold and red.
No, it's not an homage at that. They weren't doing that. They were trying to distance themselves from the Netflix series, The Daredevil, which was far superior.
Agreed. I was never saying that it wasn't. However, for the Echo show, it's looking like they're going to do his Born Again black and red costume, which I'm pretty excited for because that's a really cool costume for Daredevil. And then for Daredevil actual, like the show, Born Again, it's looking like they're going to do another red costume, but they're going to do it a little bit different than his other Netflix costume, which I have mixed feelings about his Netflix costume because I really like it, but at the same time, I feel like they could have smoothed it out a bit. It felt a little rougher on the edges.
So all the firing that Disney has done lately has put them in the right direction.
I would
you think
agree.
if they would have kept the same crew, that my projections wouldn't have come true.
So did you guys know that Tim Burton's finally making Beetlejuice 2 and Johnny Depp is in it, along with Jenna Ortega?
He's making a what?
Beetlejuice 2.
The movie that nobody asked for.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, Johnny Depp and Jenna Ortega are supposed to be in it.
No, don't do that.
Like, we literally don't need it, didn't want it, don't care.
First off, Michael Keaton nailed that role.
Yeah, he really did. Michael Keaton did a very, very good job.
Also, speaking of Michael Keaton, the Flash movie and the Batman.
No.
Have you seen the trailer?
Yes, and I care not for the show. I don't want it to be in existence. I don't want it at all. I
had mixed feelings about Michael Keaton.
I am
Spider-Man.
less excited to see the Flashpoint movie than I was about Quantum Mania.
Okay, see, literally just because it's the last time we'll see Batfleck, and because they're bringing back Michael Keaton, I am more excited about it than I am for Quantum Mania.
I would rather sit through Captain Marvel, the Eternals, the Marvels, back to back to back.
Wow.
Dude, it's the last time we're going to see Batfleck.
I don't care. All they're going to do is humiliate him.
No, they're not. He's half the reason people are going to come see the movie because everyone hates Ezra Miller. They know they have to make him cool, otherwise people won't.
Ezra
Really?
Miller was the one who played the Flash in Justice League, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Everyone wanted Henry Cavill back as Superman too. They
I know.
fired him.
I know.
And James Gunn is not known for making his smart decisions.
Well, James Gunn didn't make this movie.
No, but he's in charge of the DCEU.
Yeah, but he's not in charge of this movie. Say what you will about the DCEU.
Kenny says check your messages. Sorry.
It's not me.
Go ahead and speak what you were going to say about the DCEU.
The DCEU has been troubled. Very troubled. I'll be the first to say there are plenty of problems with the DCEU, but the castings for the Trinity were some of the best I've ever seen.
I'm not disagreeing with that. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying is that
nice,
they didn't
Kenny.
They did not build up Barry Allen as a character. They casted him wrong with Ezra Miller. The whole shtick that they're pulling out with the Flashpoint series, it barely worked in the comics. It only worked as a springboard in the animated movie series. In the television series, it flopped horribly and screwed everything up. In this DCEU movie series, the live action, it is going to trash the franchise.
Well, the whole thing is that they're using it to restart the whole franchise. So, yeah, its purpose is to trash the franchise and start it anew.
Yeah, but I don't think it's not going to springboard it like it did with Flashpoint, the animated movie. That was a good springboard into the New 52. Because it also tied in. This one right here is going to leave a bad taste in the viewer's mouth. It's just a horrible move. Build the character up. Make them like the character, then pull some crap. That's how that's supposed to be. Don't create an insufferable character, barely use him, misjudge his powers, and then all of a sudden give him his own movie where he resets everything.
Tony, it is the last time we are ever going to see Batfleck, and it is the last time we are ever going to see Michael Keaton's Batman. For that alone, it is worth the price of admission just to see that. I am not
If he
saying...
doesn't want to go, I'll go. I'll go watch it.
Man, of course I'm going to go and watch it. I sat through Quantum Mania. That being said, I'm not going to enjoy it.
I feel like
And the fan service alone. I'm sorry. I'm going to say this one last thing, and then I'll stop interrupting you. The fan service alone. I have had enough of that coming from Disney. I will not take it from Warner Brothers.
And see, I'm looking at this with a different way. I'm looking at this through the perspective of Henry, Gal, and Ben, who have been, I would argue, screwed over more than almost any other actor in Hollywood at how much they've been jerked around by Warner Brothers. And so,
That's very true. They have been.
you watching that movie isn't going to help them. Ow!
You deserved that.
I feel for Ben, especially, who has been jerked around almost as much as Henry. I'd say Henry's been gotten it the worst, but Ben has had it almost as bad at points.
They've thrown him so many things that he's had to do so much.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it may not help Ben, but I feel like it's almost like for Ben, I'm going to go watch this because in Batman vs. Superman and Zack Snyder's Justice League, Ben Affleck played one of the best portrayals of the Batman I've ever seen in my life. Almost life-changing for me at points with how good it is. Like, altered my perspective on the character. So, for Ben, I'm going to go see this movie. I don't care about Ezra Miller. I think he's a trash human being, and I feel like the fact that they made a movie with him in it after everything he's done is sad and despicable. He doesn't deserve this. However, Ben deserves this. And I'd argue even Michael Keaton for coming back after this long, putting on the cape, and doing it again. I'll see it for Keaton. So, am I expecting a masterpiece of cinema? No, I'm not. I'm expecting a not very good movie. However, this is a chance to say goodbye to two of the best Batman I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like the meme of Ben Affleck sitting there holding the cigarette going. It's
Yeah.
literally been a story of his life. He's been through so much.
Yeah. So, I agree with you, Tony. It's
Some of
not
that's
going to be a
self-inflicted,
good.
though.
Agreed.
Yeah, but that's the way with a lot of the actors, and yet everybody still loves him.
So that is why I am wanting to see this movie, Tony. I want to say goodbye to Ben and Michael. Not Ezra, not DCEU storytelling. This is for Ben. For me. Do you understand my perspective?
I do. I also disagree with it, but
I
that's
feel
fine.
really old because all the actors we grew up with, they're all starting to retire now.
You know what I
Makes me
think?
feel so sad.
I actually shed tears when Bruce Willis announced he was retiring because of his brain. I
This-
grew up watching Die Hard, man. That was hard
Jim
for me.
Carrey's retiring.
I don't really care as much about that.
This is how I think they should have handled Michael Keaton's Batman. They should add it. They should add a Batman Beyond movie with Michael Keaton as old Bruce, Dylan O'Brien as Terry McGinnis.
It's pretty decent casting. I'll give you that.
They work well together. They were already casted in 2 movies together, American Assassin.
I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's the movie that they should have done in reverence to Michael Keaton as Batman.
So John Wick 4 has come out. I'll be honest. Every other movie I've seen trailers for this year, I'm more dreading than excited for. With the exception of that one Guy Ritchie film with Jake Gyllenhaal.
What about that one? We saw the trailer for it. The dude that threw the landmine.
Sisu, yeah. Susie, yeah. No, that one's good too. But like, I'm talking about like the big budget ones, like Indiana Jones 5. I'm dreading it. I'm scared for it, bro.
Yeah, I'm not.
Indiana
sure about that
Jones
one either.
is my favorite fictional character of all time, and I'm terrified what they're going to do to him.
Aren't they like throwing in some sort of like time travel aspect to it?
That's what the leaks and test screens will say. However, there's been a bunch of reshoots and a bunch of like apparently there were like very extensive reshoots. So from what I've read, from what I've heard, test screen audiences hated it so much that they pretty much like went back to the drawing board and
I'm
reshot
surprised
half the
Harrison
movie.
Ford agreed to do it because the 2 roles he hated the most was Indiana Jones and Han Solo.
No, he hated Han Solo. He loved Indiana Jones.
was
He
it?
is like fiercely protective of Indiana Jones. Like at one point they were in talks to replace him with Chris Pratt, and Indiana Jones actually like called Pratt out about it. It was like, Indiana Jones is my character. You will not take him from me. and like Chris Pratt was like, I'm too scared to take Indy from Harrison. Like,
Chris-
And that's why Chris Pratt
Pratt-
is now Mario.
Chris Pratt immediately
Which I
backed
like.
down from that role. He's
I
like,
can't
"No,
wait.
you're
I'm
good,
excited
bro."
to see that one.
I
I want to go
finally-
see Renfield. That's what I want to see.
that looks okay.
Yeah, I want to see Renfield. I finally, for the first time, when we were going to watch John Wick 4, I finally, for the first time, saw a trailer to Mario.
Pretty good, right?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It like you hear it and you're like, oh, this is stupid. You watch a trailer like that. That actually looks kind of all right.
Well, I actually never heard anything bad other than, some of the people complaining about Chris Pratt voicing the character.
And I've already gone into detail. I actually even convinced Taylor of this, of why using the actual voice actor would be a really bad idea for a feature length movie.
I didn't
Yeah,
have
it'd
any
be-
problem with Chris Pratt doing it though.
It'd be really annoying.
I'm not that
Yeah,
convinced.
it wasn't me.
Yeah, it was Kenny.
Because I'm like, do I want to listen to Yahoo? It's the movie for 2? No, I don't want to slit my wrist with rusty barbed wire.
Well, they've
That'd be
never,
horrible.
in all of the Super Mario media that was out there, the only time that they ever used that voice was in the game. They used to have a Super Mario Brothers cartoon back in, I want to say, the early 90s that I watched.
It's a Mario.
Yeah, and they used, I'm not talking the live action the live action one with,
I'm
Oh
not
my
talking about the
God.
movie here. I'm talking about the show.
yeah, they used a pro wrestler
Oh, it
that
was
had
so
like, the
great.
worst
I know.
New York accent ever, and he looked nothing like Mario. He had long hair, a dirty mustache.
It was so
It was
great.
so, and then but the voice, they kept the same voice when they went to the, because that series was divided up into two aspects. There was the
Hold-
live action.
Let me
and then
finish.
the
Let me finish.
animated.
Let me please.
Okay.
I saw a bit they did like the say no to drugs, and he's like, "You go to hell and then you die," and it was like Mario, the children.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't hold anything back then. I remember watching that episode when it premiered. But yeah, that was that show was divided up into two. It had a live action component where they taught kids, educational and things like that, and then it had a
Luigi, come here.
I remember.
We're
what
gonna
you're
teach
talking
the
about.
kids how to do long division and hot wire a car.
yeah, and then it had an animated where they went into the adventures. There was a spin-off aspect to it too, where they had the Legend of Zelda, the animated series, which was
Excuse me, Prince.
yes,
Link shouldn't talk.
yes, Link should not talk.
Link should not. Nobody should talk, but Link. Link most of all. Link
Yeah.
should not talk. I am
It
an
was-
avid Legend of Zelda fan.
It was it was great. It was so horribly fun.
I've seen episodes. I am aware of this.
Yeah, I rewatched because they put them up on like Netflix there for I think maybe only a month, and I rewatched a couple of episodes, and I was like, wow, was I high? Was I high as a child?
I mean, knowing your childhood, there is
I
a
mean,
possibility.
there's a great possibility.
shush. I don't like being called out like that.
Bro, you set yourself up for it, don't
I
you?
did.
Yeah, you really did.
Hey, will you move that salad so that way I can get the unhealthy item underneath? Thank you. But yeah, so getting back, we went off the rails. Getting back onto it,
What reason?
back on track there. I think that Chris Pratt voicing Mario was actually a really good one.
Kind of interested
although
to
I-
see what Jack Black does with Bowser.
I kind of,
That's what I'm interested in seeing.
I do wish that he had more of a Brooklyn type of accent or Bronx accent, like the
Yeah.
like the mid '90s live action with what's his name? Not Ralph DiMaggio. It's
I know who you're
he
talking
played
I
on
know-
he played on
oh.
John Wick.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
someone look it up. What's his name?
I'm not doing it. Somebody else does it.
You can't do it. You had one job, Taylor.
Since when is
Speaking of
looking
Chris
up
Pratt
my stuff
and things he's
Listen.
played in, The Terminal List is an absolute god tier show. It is one of my top 3 favorite shows of all time. It is outrageously good, and this is coming from someone who's read the books too.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I can't pronounce that.
Oh, so
So you give it to the illiterate Mexican?
No.
All right, let's give it to the white guy who can read.
no, hold on, give me a second.
Sound it out.
It's a Mexican name. I thought she would know.
North Mexican.
Correctly, I think it's Leguizamo. I don't remember how to pronounce that one. I know who he is. Though.
Oh, John Leguizamo.
But yeah, Leguizamo.
Leguizamo. Thank you. Listen, it's not my fault. I don't know how to read. I got a GED, okay?
He got his GED.
I got my GID.
He reads good.
Bob Hoskins was a great voice for Mario, in my opinion. Rest in peace, dude. He played the main detective in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I remember.
That dude.
That's a funny movie.
They
that's
had
an
him
amazing
casted
movie.
as Wolverine.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yeah, they did. It came down to Bob Hoskins and Hugh Jackman.
Eddie Valiant.
I don't like tunes, Bob.
I don't work
The sad thing
for
is,
tunes.
that he would have made a really comic book accurate,
Looking Wolverine.
not
If
just
he
looking,
wasn't
but looking, sounding, his mannerisms. Actually, he wasn't fat. He was trimmed down because Bob Hoskins worked out on the daily. Now he wasn't as cut as Hugh Jackman. I'll say that much. But he's also got like 30 years on Hugh Jackman.
Can we just take a minute and imagine some of the scenes? Like, for example, let's all take a little trip to Merry Imagination Land, kids, and picture X-Men 3, The Last Stand, where he is heatedly making out with Famke Janssen. Now, we think Hugh Jackman and Famke Janssen, hot couple.
Oh my.
Famke Janssen and Ed Valiant. What's another good
the
one?
the only thing that really sticks out in my head on that for some reason is the fact that he'd have to wear a wig.
Or what's another good one? Oh, I remember.
His role as old Logan would just be
His
him in his
role as
everyday
old-
clothes. Bob Hoskins helping Patrick Stewart go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Here's another one. Bob Hoskins in X-Men 1, shirtless cage fighting. Picture it, kids. That scene in the Canadian bar
Now,
where he gets
hold
kicked
on,
in the
hold on,
nads.
While we're
Again,
doing this,
Bob
imagine
Hoskins-
Hugh Jackman
Bob
in Who
Hoskins-
Framed Roger Rabbit.
No, Bob.
That would be the most edgy Roger. Where's the rabbit? Ah! Valiant, why are you screaming?
I don't work. He would do so much more than shove that.
I
egg
don't work
in.
for tunes.
He would try to.
I don't know. Hugh
tried to
Jackman's
sing
got
way too
very
many.
good range, though, so I don't think it would be as rough as you're thinking.
All right, kids. Bob Hoskins, X-Men Origins Wolverine, fighting Sabretooth. In the alley. How are you going to kill me? I'm going to cut your head off. I'll start there.
I still think he would have made a pretty good one. That being said, Hugh Jackman was definitely better. Better casting.
Imagine Hugh Jackman kissing Roger Rabbit, because that happens multiple times in that movie.
I mean,
I can see
Hugh
Hugh
it.
Jackman doing that because he's a thespian at heart.
I'd make a very interesting scene with Jessica Rabbit when he's walking out of the shower and Dolores walks in dabbing in watercolors at him. Because Hugh Jackman is so much taller.
I know. Half the joke is how tall Jessica Rabbit is. Ugh. Or hey guys.
Or him talking to the baby.
Oh my gosh, that would be great. Or hey guys, how about all the times Hugh Jackman was all sensually up in Mystique's business, but now it's Bob Hoskins. X-Men First Class. We've come to recruit you for the X-Men. Hey, F yourself. X-Men Days of Future Past. Hugh Jackman is no longer the one waking up next to the mob boss's daughter putting on his pants. It's Bob Hoskins, kids! I just ruined it for Taylor. Taylor is traumatized after this. I have successfully ruined this for her, and it makes me so happy.
Every fiber of my being wants to change the subject, but I am paralyzed to do so because I have no topic to choose from.
Bob Hoskins giving the "We Hold This Line" speech in X-Men 3. We hold this line! Looks like a Frosty. I believe it.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's so good. And enjoy watching the X-Men films from now on, Tony, and all you're going to see is Bob Hoskins instead of Hugh Jackman. Angry, short, Eddie Valiant, Bob Hoskins.
I'm not going to have that issue. Now, that one in there, she'll have that issue. I'm not going to have that issue.
So great. This is by far one of the funniest conversations I've... Thank you, though. One of the funniest conversations I've been able to bring up on this just for Taylor's reactions. Her first reaction when I brought up the Famke Janssen scene, she actually gagged a little bit. It was like, ugh. I am so proud of myself for this.
Think Christina will like them?
All right, kids. I ruined childhood films for us enough. Who has a new topic?
Does anybody remember Drop Dead Fred?
No.
I can't remember the guy's name.
She can't even remember it.
No, the actor that plays Drop Dead Fred. So the whole basic story is it starts out with a little
Did you just say the whole racist story?
basis.
Base of story, okay.
So just
This little girl used to have her imaginary friend. You know, every little child has an imaginary friend. Well, hers was called Drop Dead Fred. He wore a bright green suit, a yellow shirt, and had fire engine red hair that stuck up everywhere.
Sounds like the Jim Carrey's Riddler.
Kinda. But obviously, her mom gets mad because she's getting all this trouble. Fred would get her into all this trouble. Dog poop everywhere, breaking expensive stuff, all of it. Well, her mom finally got tired of it, and so she taped Drop Dead Fred and it was Jack in the Box. And, she grows up. She gets married and all this stuff, and now she's going through a divorce and everything. Well, Drop Dead Fred comes back, and she's an adult.
Oh, no. Reminds me of another movie I saw with Robert Downey Jr. called The Heavenly Kid. Did you see that?
I know what you're talking about.
It's got like Tom Sizemore, John Lithgow, a bunch of other people. It's like all these ghosts who are attached to this kid, and they have to like complete their last like unfinished business where they pass on.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious.
But she's unhappy, so the whole point of an imaginary friend is to make
Oh no.
make them happy.
No, don't tell me.
Well, Drop Dead Fred is trying to help her win back her husband.
Oh no.
But one of my favorite scenes of it, the name that Drop Dead Fred calls her mother is Mega B. So he gets his head closed in the fridge, and his head is about that thick and very, very wide. And he's trying to, and he ends up falling on the ground trying to get his head back together. Well, he falls on the ground and slithers over, looks up, scary, and she goes, "Wow, cobwebs," and she just dies laughing. Keep in mind, her mother does not see him. All she sees is her adult child is randomly laughing. Well, about to spit out her own tea.
Beautiful.
But the term for Fred to go away is, PO.
Mhm.
And she yells it. And her mom has no idea. She's like, "Excuse me? What did you just say?" You'll have to look it up. It's in a great movie. It's so funny.
Okay, I'll check it out. Saw a movie pop up on my feed the other day. One I haven't seen in years called In Time. Does anyone remember this?
That sounds familiar.
Everyone has a running clock on their arm.
Oh, yes, I have.
Justin Timberlake.
Yep.
Justin Timberlake and Seyfried, Amanda Seyfried. That is an interesting movie and an interesting concept. I like that. And also Cillian Murphy of Peaky Blinders fame. It's a very interesting concept, and I've actually been wanting to rewatch that movie just because I think, I don't know, just the idea of being able to like add or take away from your life is very...
I think that would suck, though. Especially if you got so much planned and you can't do anything to get any more time.
I mean, you can.
That's like the whole basis of the movie is buying time.
I mean, I've seen what you're talking about. I haven't actually watched the movie.
Watch it. It's actually a pretty good movie. Yeah.
I've never had any desire to see that movie at all. Like 100%. That being said, when I was away at one of my trainings, it was on and there was nothing else on. So I watched it.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those movies that if it's on, I'm not going to turn it off, but I very rarely get the urge to watch it.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie.
It's just it stars Justin Timberlake.
It was a movie that was definitely made for TV.
It's a movie that stars Justin Timberlake.
Do you guys remember The Hitman's Bodyguard?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I remember you showing it to me, actually.
I have both of them.
I've seen both of them. It was quite an entertaining set of movies. Yes.
I haven't seen the sequel. I watched the first one. Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds is definitely
a combo made in heaven.
Yeah.
Yes.
What happened to the seatbelt rule?
Their back and forth was very hilarious.
Am I wearing underwear?
The snarky remarks of Ryan Reynolds with the quick and abrupt comebacks and quips from
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L.
Yeah.
Jackson is I
Whoa,
want to
these
say
are electrolytes.
I want to say like 75% of that movie was improv.
Oh yeah.
I believe it.
Definitely.
In like the best possible way though, not like Ghostbusters 2016 improv, but like the best improv.
I thought one of the funniest transitions was when Ryan Reynolds is escorting that Japanese guy, the plane, and he gets shot, and just has this. It just slowly goes from him smiling to, and then it changes the background scene to where he's sitting in a car, and you can hear him going in a bottle. And then his face just he finishes and throws it in the back. And it has these long zip ties and whacks himself in the face with them.
Jesus. Okay.
But Zelma Hyatt was really good in those movies.
She's good in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I have yet to see a
The
movie
man is
that
a
she was
cucaracha.
bad in.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen some of those TikToks about other prisons around the world.
Yeah.
Some of them actually look fairly comfortable.
And some
Some
don't.
do not.
Some are the stuff of nightmares.
The one of Russia's
The
is
Black Dolphin prison.
Yeah.
I mean,
So when are we gonna start our small town series of dog water?
I'm down for whatever, bro. I got the kit.
I really, when Kenny brought that up and it clicked in my head, I really, really want to make that happen. Hey, if anyone is interested in acting in a role in dog water, get a hold of us.
Run!
We're gonna have to use your SUV. and just roll up on people in the blacked out SUV. Be like, why are there bumper stickers? Oh, it's my wife's on borrowing. Well, she's at work. Oh, okay. What'd you do with the company vehicle? Bro, I pawned it. I was behind on my mortgage. Oh.
How can you afford a mortgage? That was like all of mine combined into one.
I had a barking tarantula. Sorry about that.
My mom.
What is dog water?
My mom has come up with a new saying instead of barking spiders.
So in the mercenary world, there are organizations that are unofficially contracted by the U.S. government to do certain jobs.
And there's
That
officially two.
organization known as Blackwater.
Although
they're
Blackwater
like-
doesn't exist anymore.
They're like the S tier, like the top dogs.
They were when they existed.
The of the era, and then there was the antithesis of Blackwater, which was known as
Dog water.
And when Kenny told me this, it clicked in my head that we should do a show about the worst mercs in the world.
Well, do you know what Blackwater's logo was?
No.
It was a black flag with a like tan circle and a black bear paw in the middle of it. So for this, we should do a similar flag. Instead of a bear paw, we should do a dog paw for dog water.
A dog paw. I think it would be too close. But I like your idea.
Well, like, it works because like a bear paw and a dog paw are noticeably different, especially because the bear paw is a very wide print and the dog one's very thin, very narrow. So you know, dog paw instead, dog water.
Yeah, it's definitely something. You know, you're probably right that would do pretty good. But it's definitely something that should be workshopped, and I would love to actually see this come to light. This
Oh yeah,
this
this would be hilarious.
dog water.
Dog water. I think what would be funny is that one of us dies in every episode, and then the next one they're replaced by another generic person.
Sounds like a messed up version of Survivor.
Yeah, I just
And half the time it's not even like enemy contact; it's like negligent discharge.
Oh, the game in the background is called Fall Guys. This is a pre-recorded video of my gameplay. That
Does it show
I
you
do.
It's also dog
failing?
water.
No, I don't fail at Fall Guys. You fail.
You fall
You
off more
fail.
than I do.
You fail.
Children.
Hey, listen. It
Children.
doesn't matter how many times I
Children.
fall off as long as I
Children.
cross the finish line. You can't cross the line.
I've
You are
crossed the
lucky-
line a lot more
I
than
know.
you
That's how you
did.
got in this country.
Bruh, you beat me by 1 second. You beat me by 1 second. By
Enough
1
of that awkward staring.
By 1 second, bruh. You beat me by 1 second. I'd call you Speedy Gonzalez, how fast that was. Oh, look, the Mexican's trying to brown him. Oh, that looks disgusting. Awfully quick to lick the brown stuff that was on her finger there, Tony. Awfully quick.
Okay, so Christina, who's actually watching this,
You are gonna get in so much trouble.
she just put frosting on the edge of my drink. That's all.
I mean, I never specified what the brown stuff was. You're the one who took it weird. Licking it again.
All right, that's enough. Move on.
I'm really tired, and so my brain is just like scattered. I've been up
Kenny,
for a very
Kenny
long
says
time.
it has to be him that dies in every episode.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah,
my God,
And then
me
you
too, Kenny.
and then you come back, but as a different named character.
Yes, every episode will establish you're a named character of some importance, and that like mid to end of the episode, you just get killed.
Don't worry about what happened, honey. We'll just move on. All right, we went off the rails for a second. But yes, Kenny has to die in every episode, and then he comes back as a different named character.
I'm 100% okay with this. I want there to be a scene similar to the backseat scene in Pulp Fiction, where one of us turns around with a gun and starts talking to him. We actually blow his head off in the back of the car. Like, oh! Taylor, makeup work for you. We're going to blow up Kenny's head in one of those episodes and just have blood splatter everywhere and have us just be like, oh!
You're gonna have a lot of work in that one because
I'm actually
there's-
very excited.
there's
for
a
it.
lot. I can just think of how many things can go wrong. Like someone brings a machete for one of them, torches. There's a lot that can go wrong.
I think a very hilarious one will be at some point, we're going to be in an active gunfight, and we're going to be moving, and Kenny's just going to stand up right in front of my gun as I shoot. It's like, oh, okay.
Line of fire.
Okay. Be advised, Dogwater 2 is down. How so?
We just replaced Dogwater 2.
He stood up in front of my rifle as I was firing. Dogwater 2 is KIA.
We're gonna make the only one of our group that's actually in the military. We're gonna make him the dumbest.
Oh, perfect. I love it. I think what we need to do is we need to have, like, Kenny, who's just every episode, he's, like, varying degrees of dumb. Me, who is, like, psychotically, like, gung-ho, like, we're gonna get him! And then you, who's just, like, the most, like, out of, like, tired, like, in your mid-30s, second divorce, just done. Just angrily done with
Apparently
everything.
you're getting a second divorce.
That's news to me.
Well, if you keep looking up that brown stuff, you might.
Oh my god!
There we go. Lick, lick, lick.
Right. That's enough.
You just make it too easy, man.
I'm gonna have to text Christina and tell her what I made so that way she doesn't misunderstand and I don't get in trouble.
Oh, it's so much fun. Just it's like breaking everything in a China shop and then saying, "Oh, hey, he's paying the bill," and walking out.
I think instead of going for the second divorce,
Fourth
I
divorce.
should be just like the gun ho family man.
Yes, you are the happy family man.
He's Peter Griffin. We can find him a white shirt and green pants.
Hey, thanks for congratulating us on our 10th episode. This is
Thank you.
actually like the longest show that we've had on Your Mood Studios running to date so far, and it's been able to be produced weekly, so we like that.
Most people. Most of the time.
Kenny, you need to come back and keep these guys in line. You know, normally I would disagree with that. I've been proven wrong. Kenny, please don't miss anymore. I cannot keep a handle on these guys.
I think I should be the one saying that.
You never had a handle to begin with.
You ain't tall enough to grab the handle.
Kenny, if you don't come back, you may not have these two anymore. I'm going to kill them.
Nope, can't say that joke. Nope, not that one either. Wow, I'm really struggling here.
Think about it.
I'm trying. No, not that one either. Dang. Wow, I'm tired. My brain is just full steam ahead with jokes I can't say.
I think it'd be hilarious if, when we go out on a mission in Dogwater, I accidentally grab the wrong bag.
Oh, no, it's your kid's soccer supplies. Where's all the guns?
It's a diaper bag.
I wanted it to be cool and tactical because, I work in this industry. Where is all the bullets? Dogwater 1?
Kenny gets shot. Quit. Oh, don't worry. I got the med. Opens it up. Diapers.
I got
Just start packing diapers on the wound.
he's
I mean, they are very observant.
he's laying on the ground screaming, okay, wait, baby powder and wet wipes. And you start baby powdering and wet wiping the sucking chest wound. He's like, why are you putting baby powder in my chest cavity? It's all I got, man. I'm hoping it clots. I'm pinned up against the car, returning fire. More baby powder, stat! He just dies looking like he got attacked with a bag of flour, just white everywhere.
Just using baby wipes to try to clean it. Is that an IV hooked up to a bottle?
Have you do the button squeeze? I would do the squeeze on the thing. Yep. Okay, it's good.
Like, oh, this would be so great. Please, someone
Big thing of
fund us.
Desitin.
It hurts so bad. I mean, pain. Start
But,
shaking a baby rattle. Look at this.
No,
Hey, it doesn't hurt anymore,
put
does it?
like a big scoop of Desitin and rub it on it because it's supposed to heal like a whole bunch of stuff.
He's screaming. He's please
Listen,
give me morphine.
This is gonna hurt. Bite down on this. Is that a teether?
Is that a?
Is
I ha-
is that
I
a
mean-
pacifier?
I mean, I have.
Suck on
the
it.
binky.
Suck on it.
The binky.
I have one of those. I bought one of those butt paste spatulas for Dusty because he doesn't like touching the Dustin. So can always have him bite down on that.
I need morphine. Look at the baby rattle. Start shaking the baby rattle while you're trying to like dig out of his dig out of the bullet with a Leatherman.
Pull out a bottle of like infant's Tylenol. Just start pouring it in.
The cow goes, "Moo." Yeah, buddy. Ah, he's screaming. Yeah, and you're just trying to like dig it out of the Leatherman. Yeah, buddy. The cow goes moo. Spin the wheel again. I think we've just made the first episode.
Oh my god. Well, yes.
we just need to
please.
call it baby bag problems. Or baby powder problem.
Instead of baby back ribs, baby bag ribs.
Baby bag ribs. Oh my goodness.
Kenny, write this down. I know you're listening. Write it down.
That is amazing.
Well, the thing is, like, I keep trying to document. I don't want back to it.
What team? Let me
Well,
see.
ignore him. Just join and ignore.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
Get
Do it.
Alright,
Get-
let's see what happens.
get the
Join.
point.
Do it.
Worst comes to worst, you're a woman on the internet. Finesse him for points and then, break his heart.
The only other person in that group is that guy.
Finesse him for points and break his heart.
I'm getting married in September.
He doesn't know that.
Not a lot of people did now. Now the whole internet knows.
Okay.
We are having a lot of dead space here, and I'm trying to think of
Wait,
things to
yeah.
talk
Yeah,
about.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm
We're
not.
all kind of out of it.
The brain no work today. Hmm. Okay.
Sorry, I want to make
I
that other
know
than-
that there's a lot of there's a lot of podcasters out there that are able to like maintain the conversations and
Well,
whatnot
that's
for
also
some
because
reason.
they also plan them out.
Joe Rogan is really good about that. I like his podcast a lot. He's really good about keeping the conversation going.
Joe Rogan, Tim Pool, Steven Crowder. they're
Have
all
you seen
really
the
good.
Flash Gets video about Joe Rogan
No.
where he interviews a chimp?
No.
Oh my. Okay, so
Does it wind up with Elon Musk on Mars?
that's a different Flash Gets video.
Okay.
No, he's sitting there interviewing a chimp, and the chimp starts freaking out. So he starts trying to choke out the chimp. Then he shoves a DMT brownie in its mouth for dunking or just dropping it face first in his saltwater tank.
Oh my god. Oh, you know
And he's
what?
just wrestling around the table with this screaming monkey. At one point, he's choking out. He's like, "Jamie, pull up that video of a dog killing a rattlesnake." And they pause like 10 seconds to watch this video. And then he just shoves this DMT brownie in this monkey's mouth. The monkey's eyes just dilate the size of dinner plates, and it's just like, It is hilarious. Flash Gets is on a hilarious YouTube channel. I wholeheartedly recommend them.
You know what? You know what is slated to? It's not slated, but it's said to come out here soon that I'm actually pretty excited for?
What?
The Avatar series.
Oh yeah,
That's a new one.
yeah. Isn't it supposed to take place like them as adults?
Yes,
I'm
I
excited
am
for
so
this.
excited for this.
I am excited for this. I want to see how they do this.
You okay, dude? You went from super excited talking about Flash Kids to like kind of frowny faced.
Bro, no, I'm just exhausted.
You're just tired.
I've been up since like 11:45 yesterday.
Why? Why didn't you sleep?
I did. I got home at 8:30 yesterday, and I passed out around 11:30 yesterday.
You said you've been awake since then.
A.M. I passed out at 11:30 a.m. Wednesday, woke up at 11:45 p.m. Wednesday, and I've just been awake that entire time,
Bro,
all day,
rough.
man. So I'm just
All right. You know a lot about Avatar, about Atla, right?
I know a decent bit.
All right. You know a lot about Atla? Avatar: The Last Airbender? I know a lot about Atla. All right.
I
So-
didn't like the first live action movies that they did.
No one did.
No one did.
It's a travesty.
I
We
hated it.
we try to
That's
pretend it
worse
doesn't
than
exist.
Glass.
We try to pretend it doesn't exist.
Didn't
Yeah,
they
see,
try calling him Ong or whatever?
They
They
didn't
did.
try.
Oh,
They
they
did
did.
call him Ong. It's
I don't
because it
know.
was made by M. Night Shyamalan, and he didn't take in any of the source material whatsoever.
I love how they just pretty much like tried to make season 1, book 1 in one movie,
It
and
wasn't
it's-
just season 1, book 1. They tried to throw in all 3 books into one movie.
No, they
Oh no, I'm sorry, two of them because the Earthbenders. Oh no, you're right. I messed it up. Listen. I've tried not to retain any memory of that.
bro, you know me. I have really good memory for some reason. Like, ask Tony. Ask me what 3 guns, main guns,
That's
John
not
Wick carried
fair
in John Wick
because
2.
That's not fair because you're autistic when it comes to guns.
Not just guns, history too.
Yeah.
Speaking of guns, you'll be excited about this Dusty ordered an AR.
What do you get?
I don't know. I just got a call last night at 9 o'clock at night saying, "Hey, how much do you love me?" And usually that follows by, "Can I have this?"
Well, I need to know if I need to congratulate him or roast him.
I like I told him
Mine
it'll
is
end up
really
being my
nice.
gun because I
Yours
don't
is-
know.
Yours is
Actually,
nicer than mine by like a fair margin. I kind of hate you for it, but I'm glad I'm building mine, my new one, my upper.
Mhm.
It's just, I hate you so much because that's a really nice AR.
We gotta go out shooting again sometime.
Yes,
soon.
we do. I hate you for how much nicer your rifle is than mine, and I hate that I got it for you.
I was gonna say
I want to go shoot clay birds again.
That'd be fun.
shoot what?
Clays.
Clays.
Mm.
They throw the clays and you shoot it with a shotgun.
Oh, that
Yeah.
AR is so much nicer than mine.
I like it.
What's sad is mine's only like a couple $100 cheaper than yours because I got mine in 2020 when everyone was freaking out about COVID and Actually, I got mine in 2021.
Who's your favorite Atla character?
That's hard. Probably Sokka.
Sokka is pretty funny.
Sokka, I think, goes through.
One of the
He
best
goes
character
through
arcs.
so much.
Yeah. The only one who goes through a better character arc than Sokka would be Zuko.
Yeah, I like Zuko a lot. He's a little edgy for my taste. Sokka's a little more down to earth, but also
It's Rufio, man. Rufio.
I know. But like, I don't know. I Sokka truly grew into the perfect leader because he's not the Avatar, he's not a Bender, and yet he earns his place.
Yeah, as a
repeatedly.
master strategist.
Not just strategist,
and a warrior.
and a master swordsman too.
Yeah.
And think all he started out was as a boomerang.
He's even a master boot. Like he hits the boom boom guy in the head with his boomerang. It's like by the end of the series, I would almost say he's rivaling certain airbending techniques with that boomerang because he's just getting the most retarded throws. And
I know. He's bending that boomerang like wanted bended bullets.
honestly,
He's the boomerang bender.
literally, he's
When the world needed him the most, there he was.
that his war club was pretty cool. I liked his war club.
Yeah, his machete war club thing, that was pretty cool too. I like the contrast in if you watch the first series or the first season of the series, how dead set against women being in the battlefield he was, and then at the close of the series, who is he fighting side by side with?
Toph.
Two women,
I
Toph
think
and
Toph-
Suki.
Toph was my favorite.
Toph was great. I like Toph a lot. I love how many blind jokes they work in.
There it is! That's what it'll sound like when you guys find it. As everybody looks over where she's pointing.
Or like, yeah, I can totally see that. Oh, they used her blindness as such a good joke, and it never got repetitive.
I loved how
She was introduced, this soft, she's supposed to be this soft, delicate, fragile thing, and she's beating up all these guys that are
the boulder is over his confliction.
So the interesting anecdote as it comes to that character, Toph's character was actually not supposed to be a little blind girl. It was supposed to be a little boy. And then they changed that at the last minute to a little blind girl because they thought that it would be a better contrast to Aang. And honestly,
it works perfectly.
well, yeah, because they didn't. So they changed the sex to a female character, right? So they had to change a few things to go along with it. But they actually didn't change like the character, the personality of the character. They kept it the same way. They just had to. Well, how about we hide it as this? So she has to pretend this disabled and helpless little girl.
I thought it was really weird how they kind of kept trying to set up like the Toph has a crush on Sokka thing, but it never really went anywhere. It was just like, oh, Sokka, and it's like, oh,
wrong person.
yeah. They did that.
Holding Suki.
They did that a
Suki,
few
actually.
times.
It's Suki, actually.
Oh, you can just let me drown
now.
Like they said it a few times. It was kind of. It's like they kind of just. It was weird. Like I'm not one for forcing relationships, but like if you're gonna put the effort in to put it in to like mention it several times, pay it off. Or don't.
I think it was just it was mostly for the comedic value, but I think they actually did intend for it. But then they thought to themselves, wait, Sokka's quite a few years older.
Agreed.
Okay, now as far as like age wise, they've already stepped across that line. Aang's like 95 years older.
Okay, that's a
Than Katara.
technicality.
Than
That is truly a technicality, though. He may have existed on this earth for that long, but he is not mentally, physically, or emotionally mature enough as that.
Yeah.
He is still
But,
a couple years younger than Katara.
I like the fact that they kind of and it's also like in a weird roundabout way in it if you actually look at it and deconstruct it a lot. The Sokka, so she only looks at Aang as a student, you know, and she doesn't really like see him as
Sokka's
as a
obsession
man
with that
or
one
anything
girl
like
turned
that.
into a fish.
R.I.P. the moon goddess.
Yue.
Oh,
Yeah.
that messed that boy up for a long time.
It really did.
And it's understandable why.
Yeah,
Like-
his first real love dies and becomes the moon. I like the meta joke that they touched on that between Zuko and Sokka when they're breaking
It's
into
rough,
the prison.
buddy.
My first girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy.
Honestly, Sokka and Zuko have such a great dynamic when they're actually working together because it's such just a two like the entire series. Aang is the pacifist, and Sokka's the warrior, so they're butting heads on this, and Sokka and his sister butting heads. Sokka and Zuko is like this, yeah.
They started off hating each other and beating each other, but they found the common ground and. You know what? I get it. You want to find your honor. I want to find my honor. We're both warriors.
Like literally, it was just like attack the front.
Yeah. Together.
Literally,
One of my favorite villains was the gal that taught Katara how to blood.
Dude, the witch was scary.
I forgot her name, but yeah,
Me too.
the introduction to bloodbending was insane. That was the worst of all the episodes. I wouldn't say the worst, but it's right up there within the top 3 at least.
Oh yeah, it's a dark one.
When Toph learned how to bend metal.
That was. Could you imagine just the look of terror like what those guys are thinking when she gets
it's
on the
a trick. She's a blind girl in a metal box that's now been ripped open. How is this a trick?
Well, okay, real quick. Last episode of the series where they're on the blimps and Toph is taking over one of the control rooms. These three dudes just standing there doing another thing. All of a sudden, the door falls over and this girl falls into it, and the door wraps around her and she starts crawling onto the
Yeah.
ceiling like a demon.
Danny-
I would be screaming my bloody guts out.
Danny Mata actually touched on this episode. He does a great job. He says you have to imagine the fear of these firebenders. They don't know about metal bending yet. So their introduction to metal bending is this 9-year-old blind girl kicking down the door, and then this girl then proceeds to become the door.
And start crawling up the ceiling at them like the Grudge. Like, that is horrifying. Toph
It
just
becomes the grudge.
Yeah, Toph just crawling across the ceiling like a metal demon spider. It's like, nope.
Quite so great. It is so great. You guys ever like see so Toph's powers?
Toph is broken.
Toph's powers were definitely inconsistent at best, but it was in a way that it didn't seem like it
It
didn't
wasn't
seem
noticeable.
Yeah, unless you're like
When
really
they all
analyzing
thought Momo
it.
was earthbending.
Oh, that was great. That
Did you guys hear
so
the
great.
theory that Momo is actually Monkey Yatso reincarnated?
I believe it.
Some friendships transcend lifetimes.
I believe it.
I believe it.
And speaking of Monkey Yatso, let's go ahead and talk
The
about
man!
Let's go ahead and talk
The
about
mad lad.
the master benders of the White Lotus.
The pile of bodies Gyatso left in his wake.
The dude preached pacifism, but he went out like a straight up boss.
The man. How did all those bodies get there? Hard to move if you can't breathe.
It is insane to sit there and think if you don't look at it, it's like, oh, the firebenders killed him. But he is in a room surrounded by firebenders, and there are no scorch marks. No. That dude went out like a boss. And then
Every member of the White Lotus is just stupid. Boomy.
it was
Stupid.
Movie was
I will say
awesome.
this. I will say this just to clarify, for clarity's sake. It was never strictly stated that Monkey Yatso was a member of the White Lotus. That being said,
It tracks.
Iroh learned about the Airbenders. He had to learn about them somehow, and it wasn't by going to the temples, because how can you get up there except for without a dragon, right?
Mhm.
That was their whole shtick. They can't get up here except on a flying bison. So my thought is that he actually met up with the well, no, actually that doesn't track. Timeline doesn't track. How did he learn about airbenders then? Because
I don't know.
Ozai is the one who killed who launched the attack against the.
No, it wasn't Ozai.
Mm-mm.
It was people before Ozai.
It was.
It wasn't before Ozai.
Yes, it
Ozai,
was.
No, Ozai was not the one who killed the.
Ozai was Roku's friend.
No, Ozai is Zuko's father.
Sozin.
Sozin.
I am so sorry. I got that wrong. You guys are right. Sozin was
Yeah.
the one.
No, yeah,
who-
Sozin is
and
the
it
one.
actually was two generations. It's Sozin, Azulon, and then Ozai and Iroh, and then Zuko and Azula.
Yes. Yeah, you kept saying Ozai. I was like, nah, bro. Ozai did not take out the Airbenders.
Yeah, no, you guys are right. I was wrong.
Ozai be coasting on his grandpappy's victories.
Yeah, but Iroh had to have learned that in my. You know what I think it is? This is what I think it is. I think that there were air nomads that survived, but
Could be.
they weren't air benders, because not every member of a nation is a bender.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fan theory that what's her name? The circus chick,
Ty Lee.
Ty Lee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ty Lee, because
I
May
like-
is the other one.
I like the theory that Ty Lee is actually a descendant of an air nomad.
That is a pretty good theory. I like it.
But yeah,
that
I
was
think he
hilarious
a
how
member
Ty
of
Lee
White
was also
Lotus.
crushing on Sokka.
Yeah, everyone's crushing on Sokka.
Sokka.
Except for that one pony-haired chick at the fortune teller's village. Yeah, who couldn't care anything about Sokka and just wanted Aang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That was hilarious.
but Iroh for a second. I want to touch on this. I want to make a separate video about this. I want to start a series just analyzing the Atlas series, but
Iroh's broken, dude.
everyone wants to. He's an OP character done right.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to talk about how powerful Ozai was in the finale, right? And everyone does talk about how BA Iroh is all the time. Who's stronger, Ozai or Iroh? I want to know first. I want to know why I want to know what you think, and then why, and then we'll contrast.
I believe that Iroh is 100% stronger than Ozai.
Okay, but why? What's your evidence? I have evidence, and I agree with you. I want to know why.
I was going to give it to you.
Okay.
For starters, let's look at what he did on the day of Sozin's Comet. No firebending powers. Everyone's depowered.
Sozin's Comet was the final one where every firebender was overpowered.
You're right. My apologies. The
Oh,
eclipse.
you're talking about the Day of Black Sun. That's my evidence.
I have more evidence as well.
Can I? Can I please?
Well, I'll let you, but I have other evidence besides that.
Okay.
But I think it truly boils down to where they draw their fire from is what truly makes the difference between Ozai and Iroh. Because Ozai's is a place of anger and hate, like Zuko's was at the beginning, which is why it was so powerful at first. But then you go against Iroh, who comes from the dance of the dragon and it's life, and it's much more of a pure fire, whereas Ozai is just a hatred fire, and Iroh's pure fire is just what he's able to do with it is so much more. But please go ahead with the Black Sun.
So to touch on what you got right there, the two different techniques in firebending that you have is the breath of fire gains its power from the breath, right? Mm-hmm. And then earlier along in the series, we're told that firebenders fuel their fire through their anger and their hate.
Mm-hmm.
There's both very true sources, and both of them are actually, in my opinion, equally as powerful. The only difference between the two, one wears you out faster. Evidence points to the Agni Kai between Azula and Zuko in their final fight.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for Azula's cheap shot targeting
Katara.
and Zuko attempting to sacrifice himself to
I'm not
save
gonna lie,
her.
I really thought at one point that they were gonna have Zuko and Katara get together.
Yeah,
They
they
were
did.
toying around with that idea too.
Yeah.
They toyed around with that one a lot.
But and so I don't think that in that particular aspect one is necessarily more powerful than the other, but one is more sustainable. Now, I think Iroh is stronger because on the day of Black Sun, no other firebender had any power, Ozai included.
And Iroh busts his way out of prison.
Iroh didn't just bust his way out of prison. Iroh was the only one who had power. Everyone wants to say, well, no, he just got it after the eclipse hit, and then he busted out that way. But tell me why
The metal was cold.
Tell me why all of the guards were cowering in fear.
It wasn't the fresh melt marks when he burst. The cell had settled. The metal had reformed. The metal had cooled.
Well, yeah.
It was long enough that the superheated metal had noticeably cooled.
And all of the guards were cowering, fetal position, PTSD, or infused fear on what happened. That only happens when you see something monstrously powerful in front of you. When you see something
Dragon
that
of the
breaks
West.
your freaking reality, like this old decrepit, mind-broken individual, now is the only powerful thing walking in the Fire Nation while everyone else is defenseless, and he just lays waste to everything. I think, and it is evidence. It is absolutely 100%, in my opinion, proven that Ozai was powerless during that because
He
why
moment
else, why else would he not? Why else would he not blast Zuko the
Yeah.
minute he drew swords on him?
Or the minute he started
about
talking
the guy
crap.
who burnt his son for just speaking up.
Yeah, no. And I can think of a couple other minor reasons, but yeah, the majority of these, yeah. Iroh is just
And the humility he has. Why can't you take out the Fire Lord? Well, I'm not sure that I can. Really?
or that I should.
Really? Really, Iroh?
I mean, on the day of Sozin's Kame, if they're both supercharged, bruh.
Ozai had that one huge blast, and you can see him struggling his hand on that blast, compensating for the amount of power. Whereas Iroh used that same blast and without struggle took down the wall of Ba Sing Se.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. I'm gonna do it. I gotta do a full video just talking about all 61 episodes of the Atlas series. I'm gonna buy them and I'm gonna do this.
Do it.
This needs to happen
Do it.
because there is just so much to pick it apart. Like
I think
the
they're
fact
on
that
Disney,
every
actually.
They're not.
Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have Netflix.
Loser!
Call INS.
What am I saying? My parents use my accounts. My dad uses my Hulu and my Paramount. My mom uses my HBO. And she used to use my Paramount.
All right. Immigration.
And I think both of them are logged
Do you
into my
ever-
Prime.
You ever notice that there was? I like the little touch with the little touch in Atla where there were these people that just had like these signature moves. The first one, the most noticeable one that everyone talks about is the Dragon of the West. Iroh is the only one that uses the Breath of Dragon in a combative sense. And he used it as early along as in Book 1 when he was taken by the Earth Kingdom.
Yep.
Yeah, he used it that early. And it is so amazing how he works it into Book 2, how he's faking like he's taking a sip of the tea.
And then he's breathing fire.
Yeah, he's just taking a huge breath to just burn.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Zuko with his breakdancing fire kick move.
Yeah, that one's
It
pretty
happens
great.
it happens in every season.
I know it.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's really it's an awesome signature.
You got John. He's the only one that uses the firewall, which is evidence as far as close into Book 1. It's evidence that the White Lotus actually trains in the Cross tribe or the Cross Nation Thanes because his firewall move is direct as the water shield.
Yeah.
It's the same maneuver. Yep, Kenny's right. Aang's got the wind ball. That was actually the move that earned him his airbending master tattoos.
Mm-hmm. Toph, trying to think of a good one for Toph because she does that suit of armor thing occasionally.
Twice. No. Well, okay.
Katara water whips
could-
like
you-
nothing else. Like that's 90% of Katara's thing is the water whip.
You could say twice. The suit of armor because the door.
I'm sorry, like out of rock.
She did that once and she taught it to Aang and Aang used it twice.
But no, Katara literally was like, "Oh hey, the water whip," and then that was just her move for the rest of the series. Like she found the water whip and just was the water whip.
It was the move that she struggled with the first the first scrolls that she had. But her
Sokka's just boomerang.
well no, I mean he got the I guess that is a signature move that he has. We were looking at signature moves, not new moves.
Azula's
all
got the
learned-
lightning.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call that her signature move.
She draws lightning more than fire at points.
I would say her signature move is the thruster.
That is true.
She uses that a lot more, and She was the first one that I remember seeing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, and you guys, but she was the first one that I remember seeing to actually use it.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, that's a pretty awesome move.
Yeah. But yeah, they all got their signature moves. It's pretty insane. Yep, I'm gonna do it. I gotta do a thing on that one. All right, top bending ability, go.
Earth.
And use all of them. You got the four main ones: earth, wind, earth, wind, water, and fire.
Oh, like the
Okay.
top, like signature ability?
No, not the.
He's talking about like all the other ones that come into play.
Yeah,
during the Legend of Korra.
There are
Never
no,
saw
actually
Legend of
they started not in the Legend of Korra, but in the original series.
Yes, but a lot more of them came out, and a lot more people had them in Legend of Korra.
Well, I mean, yeah, but there's lava bending, metal bending,
Metal bending.
blood bending.
Nah, dude, metal bending's
Okay,
pretty
I
legit.
thought blood bending was kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
I think the most dangerous one is actually air bending.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We're talking about signature moves. In the final 4 episodes, you have Aang, who is talking to the past avatars, right? One of them is an airbender, right? Because he's like, of course you guys are going to be okay with killing, but how about another airbender? And first off, she's like, no, totally, you got to kill this guy.
I love, not Avatar Roshi,
Kyoshi.
Kyoshi. Yes. Kyoshi's just like, kill them all.
You know what's insane about that? She wasn't even the worst one.
I know, but everyone gives her crap for it.
I can't remember what her name is. It's the airbending avatar, the last one of the airbending avatars before Aang. You know what her signature move was? Bending the air out of people's lungs.
That is so metal.
That was her. That's where that came from. That's how. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what his name was in Legend of Korra. He became the evil airbender.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that's where he learned it from. He was going through the records and whatnot, and yeah, that was her move. That earned her that spot. Was she killed people by basically force choking them,
That is amazing.
and that was an airbender.
Beautiful.
Have you read any of the Avatar books?
No.
I have not, no.
The books of Kyoshi are insane. I mean, you guys think that the cartoons were awesome. We're talking these are brutal. All right, I'm taking over all this thing, and you're falling asleep. What next? What do you got? Speak words. Ian.
I'm here, shut up.
Stop falling asleep, Ian. Don't let him lie to you guys. He's totally falling asleep.
Try not to.
At least you're more productive than Miss plays on her phone while we're supposed to be working.
I'm gonna confiscate that in a minute.
Considering I just lost. So yeah.
All right, guys.
Live action adaptation series coming out on Netflix too, by the way.
All right, guys. Childhood cartoon heroes. Who do we got winning in a fight? First up, Johnny Bravo
Oh my god.
versus Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. They would win so easy.
I don't know. Johnny's got some pretty...
Johnny's a big klutz.
And like Tom isn't.
He's also a black belt in karate,
Yeah.
and he's beaten secret agents,
Johnny
and he's fought
Bravo.
monsters.
Yeah, but he gets defeated by the smallest things.
He gets defeated by pretty women.
Because he lets them.
Yeah,
If
but
Johnny
Tom
wanted
and
to...
Jerry also cross-dress, so...
Okay.
Yeah, but he's never fallen in love with an animal.
And I guarantee the animals have tried the Tom and Jerry routine on him, and I promise you it hasn't worked. And even if it did briefly, he snapped out of it pretty
I feel
quick.
like Johnny Bravo would be one that would scream when he saw Jerry and run away. I mean, he's a big macho guy.
No, he
but
would not
some of
scream at
the-
a mouse.
But some of the
No, he would
Some of the
not
small
scream at a
things.
mouse.
they'd come at him with a comb and scissors, and he'd run away screaming.
Until he, like, judo chopped him through a wall. Yeah. Okay, so me and Tony vote Johnny Bravo. You vote Tom and Jerry. So 2-1, you're outvoted. Let's see here, another good one. The Jetsons versus the Flintstones.
In a fight, the Jetsons.
I don't know, man. The Jetsons are kind of wimpy.
Superior technology.
But do they have the will to use it?
Yes.
Okay.
2-1, we win.
Okay.
I mean, the maid robot alone, she's a baller, dude.
Marvin the Martian versus Jimmy Neutron.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh.
I'd probably...
I don't know. Marvin blows himself up quite a bit.
But Marvin also
he also
blows other people up quite
he
a
also
bit.
survives.
Marvin, I think Marvin's like a
Because you
2
can't kill a
explosions to
coon.
others for every one to himself. So Marvin's operating at a 2-1 ratio here against Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy is a genius, don't get me wrong, but Jimmy's inventions hardly ever work out for him the right way if they're anything beyond like, oh, hey, I built a walking
Do you
dog.
remember the Jimmy
And,
Neutron and,
like-
Fairly Odd Parent
Like
crossover?
9 times out of 10, Jimmy makes the problem worse,
That's
and his
true.
it's by some dumb coincidence with his dumb friends that he's able to correct it.
I think Marvin
I think
takes.
Sheen actually corrects most of his mistakes, and
Yeah.
Sheen is the dumbest person in that show.
I think we're all in agreement that Marvin takes it over Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I was hard for a minute because I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, he's really smart, but Marvin's got that killer instinct.
Marvin's ready to drop a kid. Marvin
I mean,
don't care.
Marvin shows up holding a pistol. I don't care if it's a ray gun, it's a pistol. He's packing.
Marvin's strapped.
Yeah.
Okay. That's another-
Marvin doesn't believe in gun-free zones. Oh, that tastes bad.
Marvin believes in people-free zones.
It tastes so bad saying that. Let's move on. Next.
Trying to think of another good one.
Jerry versus Jerry versus
Jerry who?
from Tom and Jerry the Mouse. So Jerry versus Bugs Bunny.
Oh, Bugs.
Bugs.
All day, every day. Bugs is beating far superior opponents to Jerry.
Jerry is out for a mouse, okay? Bugs Bunny is a psychopath. He's sitting there enjoying his day, and then someone comes up and bothers him, and then he immediately thinks to himself, now I have to ruin your life. So, Bugs 100%, because Jerry's just hungry. Bugs destroys your reality.
That's true.
Daffy Duck versus Donald Duck.
Daffy.
Daffy.
Have you seen some of the stuff Donald has done though?
Oh, I know. He's a
Donald
decorated
is the
war
only
hero.
Disney character that can get away with cussing because nobody can understand a word he says unless you really pay
The
attention.
man has confirmed kills under his belt.
He's actually a decorated war hero.
Oh.
I'm just saying, I don't know if Daffy has what it takes to put Donald away, because they're both operating under the Toon Space. Only difference is Daffy's a little more exasperated. I don't think he has what it takes. Whereas Donald, at the end of the day, Donald has bodies.
That's
Daffy
true.
doesn't. Daffy may be a little bit more wacky with
I
it.
mean, only because his body count wasn't written
I
into
think
his
of Daffy
character.
and
But we
Donald-
actually haven't seen
s-
Daffy drop any or Donald drop anyone.
You say that, and all I think is the scene from Who Framed
Yeah,
Roger Rabbit
that was where I got the
while they're
idea from.
going at each
Yeah.
other while playing piano.
We've actually haven't seen Donald drop any bodies.
But it's confirmed either way.
Yeah.
I mean, Donald tried to shoot him with a cannon.
But I think that Daffy has it just because, like, looking at
I feel like they're fairly
looking at the
matched.
scaling, Daffy has more with the Acme. Daffy has more at his disposal than Donald does.
Yeah, but we see Donald do a lot with what he has.
We've also
Whereas-
seen Daffy literally pick himself up back together.
I think
We've
I
seen
think
Donald do similar.
I think they're fairly evenly
Have we?
matched.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't remember watching.
I have seen
Donald ever
cartoons
do
of
that.
Donald like
It's the older ones, but
yeah,
yes.
I've seen a lot of older Disney cartoons when I was a kid. So I've seen Donald literally like will
You
himself
have
back to
HBO Max.
existence.
Look, go back and watch Looney Tunes. It has all the seasons from when they first started. You'll see it.
I just said that I need to dedicate 61 episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender and make shows out of them. You think I have time to sit back and
So-
watch through hundreds of Looney Tune episodes
Okay, so
just to see what you're saying?
I don't think that it'll be an easy fight for Donald, but I do think Donald takes it.
I'll accept that as an answer.
Like Donald isn't walking away scot-free. By no means is Donald coming out of this without missing body parts and most of his sanity.
Samurai Jack versus
Popeye.
That's actually a good one.
I was gonna
Sam-
say Jake Long, but
Okay, well,
Jake
you know,
Long,
actually,
Samurai Jack.
I have a more fitting opponent.
Samurai Jack would Samurai Jack would slay, gut, and wear Jake Long as body armor,
Agreed.
that's true.
Okay, boys,
and his grandpa as a belt.
ladies and gentlemen, I have the penultimate fight for our animated fight night. Are we ready?
Yes.
In the white corner, Popeye the Sailor Man. In the yellow corner, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh my God.
Who wins this fight? They have both destroyed and ignored reality and just straight up universe-ending events.
SpongeBob.
No,
I gotta give it to SpongeBob.
Popeye. Popeye has had his universe destroyed and has just said no and ignored it. He has ignored being written out of existence. He has jumped off the screen, off of the page, to beat his writer into submission to tell the story he wanted. SpongeBob has some crazy reality distorting feats.
SpongeBob
yes.
is also very tiny compared to.
SpongeBob,
Popeye and
canonically speaking, SpongeBob can't get hurt.
And Popeye can literally will himself back to existence. And out of
That
Popeye
still doesn't. That still doesn't
One-
defeat.
All Popeye's got to do is.
SpongeBob.
I think it's
No,
honestly
no. All
he can't
Popeye's got to
take a
do is
hit.
take SpongeBob out of the water.
agreed.
That still doesn't kill him. He's been out of the water before,
But-
several times.
Yeah, but extended deprivation of water dries him out and is a hard counter to SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Whereas
The only reason why he survived in that stupid SpongeBob movie was because of the water dripping down onto him.
I never watched the
That was the
SpongeBob movie.
stupidest movie ever.
not to mention, if we give Popeye even one can of spinach,
He's dead.
I'm
it's
just
done.
saying, like
It's done.
he can't get hit.
Yet
SpongeBob doesn't take damage. How are you going to defeat someone who can't take damage?
take him out of the water, then he can be damaged.
You throw him in a bottle of
That's
acid.
theorized.
No, it's seen where he's just dried out before and just stopped existing.
Yeah.
The consciousness of Sponge Robert SquarePants has stopped existing when he dries out.
Yes.
The sponge needs to be wet for SpongeBob to exist.
Yeah.
Okay, I will
At worst, I will call it a tie.
give it to you because I don't know that information. I don't watch a lot of SpongeBob.
Neither
as
do
you guys
I.
Can see tell.
I watched a death battle on SpongeBob. This is where I'm pulling most of my information.
Oh,
No.
oh, really? Really,
I
Death
watched-
Battle?
I watched a little bit.
I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob as a kid.
Like,
I was
just
allowed to watch
saying, like,
SpongeBob
Death
at my
Battle
dad's
is-
until
Death
I
Battle's
was
got
about
a big
5, and then he
bias.
actually watched it with me, and then I was told I wasn't allowed to watch it anymore.
I'm just saying, Death Battles has a huge bias on some things, and they willfully ignore very credible evidence on a lot of things.
Agreed. However, this battle they had him going against, it was designed for him to win. But they still just went deep in the paint about some of his more ridiculous facts, but they've also done that for Popeye as well. They prove scientifically that Popeye can beat Saitama.
Theorized scientifically.
Did anybody
They can't
else
prove it
notice
because
in
no one has seen Saitama's upper limits yet.
They've theorized it and they kind of drew what they thought it was, but At the end of the day, you have a sponge who underwater can't take damage versus a guy who just cannot be destroyed. Popeye.
Again, I'm going to give you this one because I don't have enough information to culminate a real opinion, and I'll take the L on this one. But just citing Death Battle as a source there, I lost.
I'm citing
my,
it purely because I don't have SpongeBob information to cite.
I lost
So
my
this
faith
is
in.
Tony,
Go ahead.
because you've seen some SpongeBob. Have you noticed that Barnacle Boy would make almost the perfect human replica of Squidward?
Yeah, I've noticed.
Okay.
Even his behavior and mannerisms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his voice nearly.
So I don't think we can get a more stupidly overpowered animated fight than that.
Have you noticed that Mermaid Man is the perfect animated version of Joe Biden?
Literally. Okay. Oh, okay. Guys.
Now look what you did.
So this is
Look what you did.
This is a free-for-all deathmatch in the Oval Office.
and it's working.
There are no hidden weapons like in Olympus Has Fallen, where there's a 1911 state. None of that. We're
Nothing
in
wrong
the
with
Oval
Olympus
Office.
Fallen.
No, I'm just ruling it out. So that way we can't say one of them dies under the desk for a gun. The last 4 presidents:
Oh no.
Biden, Trump, Obama, and Bush, in the Oval Office. Free for all deathmatch. Who wins?
I'd probably say, like, Obama. He's most likely he's the youngest, and he's actually the better fit of the 4.
I don't know.
I don't know. Bush just has the power.
I think Bush. Okay. I think Trump is just gonna beat Biden to death with his bare hands,
I agree with this.
and then he's probably gonna have a heart attack and keel over himself.
I was gonna say
Those two are gonna take each other
Biden's
out.
probably gonna wind up just like confusing himself to death.
So,
Biden's gonna get so overwhelmed he's just gonna kill over dead. Nobody's gonna have to fight him. He's gonna kill over right there.
so then the real question is, who's gonna win, Bush or Obama? I'm
Listen,
not sure.
Bush has this like amazing. I don't know. He wasn't a very favored president, but he's got this mentality.
He's
of
an old
just
Texas boy.
showing up and
Yeah, but
living through
as
almost
far
everything.
okay, so first off, he's not a good old Texas boy. His military career is him as a cheerleader at West Point.
I know. I'm just saying. He grew up in
no
Texas.
offense to cheerleaders in the room.
He grew up in Texas. There's a little bit of rowdiness there that's inherent to the boys of that state.
He's like a extremely aged 8-year-old.
I'm aware. And Obama's a stuttering communist.
Yeah, but commies can still fight.
Not nowadays.
Sorry, all we're talking about Bush, and all I can see is Gabriel Iglesias making fun of him about talking
All
about Katrina.
I think that Obama's got it just because he's younger, he's more fit.
I could see it, but I don't think it would be easy for him.
I don't think so either. I think he'd have a fairly rough time with Bush.
Exactly. It truly boils down to Bush and Obama, and I could see Obama taking it, but it would not be easy. For
All I'm
Obama.
doing is picturing like 2 old men doing that that child slap fight.
All right. All right. Now.
Stop it.
Now we're gonna do a good presidential
Oh
fight.
dear.
George
Oh
Washington,
dear.
Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt.
Theodore Roosevelt wins automatically.
Theodore Roosevelt, 100%.
Agreed. Fine.
I don't even need to know the 4th one, okay?
Theodore Roosevelt
George
wins.
Bush was a great general.
Washington.
Washington.
What did I
He was
say?
also a skilled
You said
swordsman.
Bush.
All right, no. George Bush is an idiot. George Washington was a great spy. He was
Skilled
a good,
military leader.
skilled military leader, combat, all that stuff. But Roosevelt was all of that plus a sportsman plus a Golden Glove boxer.
Yeah.
Didn't he take rounds and still show up for a speech?
Yeah, he
Yes,
got
he
shot
did.
and then delivered a speech. You might have noticed I've just been shot and then just delivered the whole speech anyways. Okay, so I'm going to take Roosevelt out because Teddy is an automatic
he
winner.
fought wild animals with his bare hands.
Teddy is an S-tier president. He automatically is just like, he's the king, so everyone else is fighting for second place. All right, so in that case, Washington, Lincoln, Eisenhower,
Okay.
and that's another good one. Jefferson.
Probably Eisenhower.
Yeah.
Lincoln was not that great of a strategist.
No,
He
Lincoln was an amazing wrestler, though. Lincoln was an undefeated wrestler in like over 100 matches.
Yeah, because he literally towered over the population.
And I mean,
How many 6-foot tall people were alive in that day?
I don't know.
Not very many.
My point
They
being,
had horrible hearts back then.
Yet he's
I mean,
almost
by the
dead.
time Eisenhower took office, he was an older man. So while Eisenhower may be the better soldier, I don't know if Eisenhower is the better hand-to-hand combatant.
Then I would have to say George Bush or Washington. Why?
Holy crap,
Why does
Tony.
it keep going? I'm not going to
Apparently,
finish that
Tony has an
sentence.
obsession with Bush.
I don't know, because they're unarmed. The whole thing is they're unarmed. And so we don't know George Washington's unarmed combat ability. All we know is his strategic ability and his sword fighting capability and his pistol capability. He was a very good pistol shot. But all four of these dudes are just thrown in their clothes, no weapons. They are barehanded. Abraham Lincoln is a barehand specialist. His whole deal is tying dudes up like a pretzel. I think Lincoln's got it.
Well, so in the Revolutionary War times, they actually did have to learn how to fight a lot of hand-to-hand and knife combatants because the muzzle-loading weapons that they had in those time
Touche.
quickly ran out.
I don't
There's
I
no
don't I don't
way
know
how
if
that
I don't
they
know
have
if Washington has what it takes to put Lincoln away, because Lincoln is a renowned hand-to-hand fighter. That's something he's famous for.
I mean, as a wrestler, yeah. So maybe he could get him wrapped up and whatnot, but he's got to be able to not take a hit from Washington to begin with. And I'm kind of picturing that fight between Bruce Lee and
Chuck
Kareem.
Norris?
No, Kareem. He's like the 7-foot tall basketball player.
Oh, well,
who
Washington is
a
also
martial
6'2".
artist. Oh well, there you go. Then
They're both about.
Then
There's
it
a few
is-
inches. Lincoln has a couple inches and probably like 50 pounds on. Lincoln has that on Washington. So Lincoln is the bigger dude, but it's not by a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm kind of picturing John Wick versus the unnamed henchman.
I guess, but I mean, I don't know, man. I think
That's
Lincoln
pretty
takes
close
it.
call.
I think Lincoln takes it, but I don't think it's easy for him. I think that if we're gonna go like a tier list of presidents who went in fights, it goes Roosevelt, Lincoln, Washington, and then it disseminates from there.
Okay. Well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and
President
close
of
out here.
Fight
We're
Club.
at 2 hours and 7 minutes. It's time for us to close up. Thank you, everyone, for joining in, watching, listening, and typing in the chat and things like that. We really appreciate everything. Make sure you come and check us out on all of our social medias. That would be the TikTok at yourmove.studios on the TikTok, or the Rumble is Your Move Studio. Check us out on there. Twitter, one of these days I'm going to go ahead and activate it. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this for more great content, and hit the notification button because we are going to be presenting more skits and episodes within the next couple of weeks. I am Tony. I was here pushing all the buttons, and off to my right is...
Ian pushing everyone else's buttons, and off to my right is
The Mexican.
the Mexican.
And as always, thanks for joining, and it's...
Your move, Internet.